Hey Poke People, thanks for coming back and checking out our next Mega Evolutions deck list profile. So we're going to go over the bad bee herself, Gardevoir EX. I'm so sick of seeing this card. It just keeps winning. It keeps getting better somehow, like every set. It's just more cards that end up in the deck, and it just makes it crazier than ever, and it's really exhausting. But we're gonna go over it because why wouldn't I cover? I think it's the most like money-winning deck as far as like prizing from tournaments and stuff. I think it passed up Lugia a while ago, and then now it's like solidifying its record. So we're gonna go over. It got new Raltsas, new Curlias. This one's objectively better because for 1 energy it can draw a card. Sure. Hopefully you're never collecting in a game, but the fact that it can do that makes it better. I have not added the new Curlia. There's I need to pull it out of my binder, actually. Let's do that now. If I have one, we'll do this live so everybody can see that I'm not, like, intentionally putting the bad ones in. I think I actually do have, 100 HP Curlia. So, we'll set that one to the side. So the new one, 100 HP, way better because Raging Bolt now cannot put 3 energy on the Baby Bolt and then do 90 to the bench, sniping your Curlia that you just TM Evo'd and knocking it out. So this one's objectively the best one, and then I wouldn't even like do parentheses or quotation marks, whatever you want to say, around optimal. It is the optimal one. So we got that. 2 Gardevoir. You could squeeze some room into having like a 2-2-2 line or a 3-1-2 line. I think that it's very, very like sus to play such a thin Gardevoir line. This is the build that I've been seeing online, so that's the one that we're going to cover. I made it pretty close to some lists that I saw online, but like always, I take a look at it and think, I don't like this, or I'll change that. Yeah, this can be subject to change based on your comfort. If you're like, nah, there ain't no way I'm playing that thin of a line of Gardevoir, I totally get it. I have to like play with this deck some, which I never ever do, but I'd have to play with it some to see if like I even feel good about that, which looking at it I don't, but maybe it works. I don't know. I'm not a Gardevoir guy, but I'm going to go over it on the channel for y'all. A 2-2 line of the Frillish Jellicent. You could make this a 2-1 line and then take this and make it another Ralts, make it another Curlia, which is probably what I would do. Because I've been seeing a lot of games, people will just wall with this Frillish. I'm seeing their builds that have the Big Charm, or the Bravery Charm, and they're just attaching to this so that it can't be knocked out with a Soul Rocket. Bruno, dude, do you have to do that right now? And make some more noise. So, the Frillish, 80 HP, can get knocked out by a Soul Rock with a Vitality Ban. I've been seeing matches where Gardevoir players that play Bravery Charm will slap the Bravery Charm on and then just wall behind this. Just item locking with the Oceanic Gloom and not even going into the Jellicent. Just trying to like loop Frillishes and just item lock Monkey Dory, Monkey Dory, Monkey Dory, item lock, Monkey Dory, Monkey Dory. It's a valid strategy that you can apply to really mess up on some item-reliant decks like Golden Go. So a 2-2 line of the Frillish Jellicent, you could easily shave this off to increase that line. We're obviously going to play 3 Monkey Dory, not 4, because we didn't have room in the deck, but 3 Monkey Dory, just for the Adrenabrain, probably one of the most broken abilities in the card game right now. We're going to play 1 Scream Tail, because we got to scream at the bench, take those easy knockouts prizes. You're not going outside right now, buddy. You just win. No, you just win. All you want to do is go walk up and down the fence and wait for your buddy to come out. And he's not outside right now, so you can't go play with him. He's not outside. I'm sorry. Oh, he's looking at me with the saddest face. No! You just went out. No. No, you gotta wait. Alright. Distraction over. As he's sitting next to me. Looking at me. You're not going, buddy. You can't go. No. No. You can go out later. You can go out in a little bit when I'm done. But you just went out. You're good. Alright. Lily's Clefairy EX. This is going to make all of our Psychic Pokemon deal weakness to Dragon Pokemon. Full Moon Rondo is a great attack. 20 damage and then 20 more for each bench Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. So you're going to use that to essentially just wipe the floor with Dragapult. I mean, that's what it's in there for. It really just makes the Dragapult matchup so easy. Just sheerly being able to Roaring Scream for your Monkey Dories, your Jellicents to be able to hit Dragapult for weakness is just a crazy amount of damage that you can do. One Latios EX, this is to let us have free retreat. We can also 200 damage with Luster Purge, sure. You're probably never going to be using that. The Latios is just to help us move things around in the early game without us having to waste our mobility. We're going to play one Mew. Mew's good for drawing a couple cards after an Iono to a low hand size. It's good for after we burn through a lot of our hand and then just topping things off. But genome hacking is busted. I mean, being able to triple attach to it, move the 60 damage off with 2 Monkey Dories, and then just copying our opponent's whatever. It's pretty busted. One Pheasantipity that I left out in the sun too long. It's definitely not a proxy. Just lost a little bit of its color. That's all. So, gotta play Pheasantipity. It's just the way of the card game. It's what you gotta do, so you do it. Alright. That's it for Pokemon lineup. Energy's pretty straightforward. I mean, we're going to play a ridiculous amount of Psychic Energy. We're playing 8 in the deck. And then we're going to play 1 Dark Energy for every Monkey Door we have, which is pretty standard. So you're going to play 3 Dark Energy, 8 Psychic Energy. That's pretty, like, standard. I think the old number was, like, 7. And then people have kind of upped that number. We're going to play 2 in the new stadium. So Mystery Garden. Super cool stadium. Gone are the days of Artisan. We're playing Mystery Garden now. So once during each player's turn... sorry. Complete mind blank. I was just like trying to read it upside down and then I was just not able to do it. So once during each player's turn, you can discard an energy card from your hand in order to draw 2 cards, and until you have as many cards in your hand as you have Psychic Pokemon in play. Yeah, it always like trips me up because I forget that I thought at first when I read the leak that it drew for every Psychic Pokemon that you had in play. So if you had like 5, you would discard and then you would draw 5, and that's not the way that it's worded. So I keep having to remind myself that it doesn't say that. Because it's like burned into my head that that's what it does, because that's what I read first. And I keep having to remind myself that you draw a card until you have cards in your hand equal to the amount of Psychic Pokemon you have in play. I don't know if you know this, but aside from Pheasantipity, it's all Psychic Pokemon. So you're going to be able to at least draw 6 to 5 cards with doing this. I'll draw up 2. So it's pretty busted. I mean, it's broken. It's just Gardevoir got more ridiculous cards to make it even better. Speaking of supporter-wise, 4 Iono, 4 Lily's Determination. This card's insane. When this card got leaked, I was like, oh my gosh. Being able to shuffle your hand and draw 8 if you have a full 6 prizes. Even if you don't, shuffle, draw 6. It's so much better than playing for research or playing, like, just the amount of cards that you're able to see and the amount of resources that you don't have to get rid of to see more cards is just insane. So we're going to play 1 Professor Turo. Obviously, we want to be able to scoop up a heavily damaged thing. We want to be able to get out of a retreat lock, so we need a Professor Turo. And we're still going to play 1 Professor's Research just because we want that option to dump energy. And sometimes you just need a hefty discard, and continue on with the game. So we're not solely going to rely on Lily's Determination the entire game. Sometimes you just want to dump some cards and draw some things. Item-wise, we're going to play 4 Nest Ball, and then we're going to play 4 Ultra Ball. Cutting the Artisan, we need as much ball search as we can to ensure that we get Pokemon down and we're able to fill up our board. We're going to play 3 Earthen Vessel because we need to make sure that we get Dark Energy attached to our Monkey Dories. We need to make sure that we get Psychic Energies out of the deck to discard them. We're going to play 3 Rare Candy. You could shave this down to 2, and you could go to a 2-2-2 line of Gardevoir, or a 3-1. I would probably, if you were shaving this down to increase the Gardevoir line, I would probably put in a second Curlia, so you can go 2-2-2. Because the less rare candies, the less you're going to be able to rare candy Gardevoir. So if you did want to increase the Gardevoir line, instead of cutting a Jellicent, this is something else that you could do. You could cut this, increase to another Curlia. You could cut the Jellicent, increase to another Ralts, and have a 3-2-2 line. And you'll be less rare candy reliant, but the deck won't be as fast. Like, you're going to need a turn to set up. And you're not playing Badoo, so you're not item locking. You can item lock with the Frillish, with an attack, which is essentially the same. It just requires an energy attachment for turn, but it does double the damage, and it's no items, no tools, I believe. I think it also does the tools on the Frillish. No, just items, but still, it's pretty good. So, this is definitely like the wiggle room that you can have for the Gardevoirs if you want. We're going to play 2 Night Stretcher. We need to get our Pokemons back that get discarded, that get knocked out. We want to be able to use Scream Tail more than once. If we lose a Monkey Dory, we want to be able to put them back. We can loop those Frillishes. If our Fez gets boss KO'd, we can bring that back up. Super Rod, Counter Catcher, because we don't have any boss in the deck. I would definitely feel more comfortable with 2 of these, but it is what it be, and that's all the room in the deck for it. Secret Box, obviously, still the best A-spec for this. You could argue to use Precious Trolley, but I don't think so. I think Secret Box is just the best. And then 1 Technical Machine Devolution. We're not playing the Arven build, so we're not playing the Evolution, because we don't have a consistent way to get it out and utilize it. So the TMD Evolution, with a lot of Monkey Dory spread, with the Scream Tail drop here, with being able to item lock, we can, attack with Jellicent. Our opponent might do a little bit of damage. We can move it all around with Monkey Dory. Technical Machine Devolution is definitely a valid tool card to be used in this build. You could make this Bravery Charm if you want to be able to do bigger damage with your Scream Tail. I definitely like playing the Gardevoir versions that can do like the big damage. This one is more of a tactical. You're going to do a lot of tricks. You're going to manipulate a lot of damage counters in places, and you're really going to construct this winning game state. This is a very skill intensive deck. If you wanted to lower the skill ceiling that it's going to take to pilot this deck, there's a thicker Gardevoir line. Make room for big charms to have. Ooh, cut myself scratching. That's a little blood. You need to change up a couple things to make it more aggressive. You can play the Drifloon still in the deck. A lot of people don't because, like I said, they're leaning toward this more tactical build. But there are adjustments that you can make to make this deck more aggressive Gardevoir. Which at that point, there's other aggressive decks you can play. The point of Gardevoir is its ridiculous ability to just construct these crazy board states and do all these crazy plays that are just gonna just have you win the game out of nowhere, or just these crazy I did this and this and then look, I won. It's just, this deck is insane with what you can do when you're skilled in its intricacies and things. Which is why I really don't play it a lot. Not that I can't do that stuff, but I would have to play with this deck a lot. And I don't have a lot of time for the card game while I'm in my final semester of school, like I've said before. So this isn't a deck that I can commit the time to, so I like the more straightforward, it does this, it attacks, you know, you play this against this deck, and then like you attack that Pokemon if you're playing this. I like having a deck like that rather than playing something like this. But if this is something that you want to commit your time and energy to, it will, you will see dividends for it. Like it's a worthwhile investment to like take the time and get skilled with this deck. So don't let that discourage you. But like if you're playing this and you're like, man, this is bad. I don't know how you're supposed to win with this. I'm constantly not being able to knock anything out. I'm like attacking with Gardevoir because I want to do big damage. Like there's adjustments that you can make to the deck to more suit your preferences. But this is like the Gardevoir list. At least the jelly build. People are split on whether the jelly build is better or the other one is better. I think the jelly build probably is better in the mirror, but the other Gardevoir list has more answers to lots of other decks. So like it's up for debate. Like I said, like this is a deck that you could talk about for hours. Like what's the correct way to play it? What's the right amount of Monkey Dories? What's the right amount of energy? What TMs should you have? Should you have tool cards or no TMs? It's an endless discussion that you can have. This is the list that I settled on to show you all. So take with it what you will. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.